I'm going to give you a quick overview of the components involved in building this UV LED light box. This is just the beginning. We'll go through each of the parts step by step. The first thing you're going to wire is the input module. This is where the power comes into the box from your AC wall current, and you have a switch that turns on and off that will control all the power into the box. Go ahead and orient the switch like you see in the video here. The way to remember this is the stuff at the bottom is where the power comes in, and the stuff at the top is where the power goes out. Let's go ahead and start wiring the first part of this input module. Take a small length of wire, about 2.5 inches, and strip some of the insulation off of it, and attach one of these spade connectors to one end of it. You're going to do the same thing at the other end. Twist it on carefully, and then take some wide-jawed pliers and crimp it down so that it doesn't pull loose later, and you've got a little U-shaped piece of load wire. You're going to put that on the two closest input posts there. The upper one, where the power is coming in from the wall, where I'm screwing it on there, goes to the one right next to it, which is the output to the switch. So that's going to bring the load from the wall current to the switch. And I'm going to go ahead and use the pliers and push those spade connectors very firmly onto the post because they are very difficult to push on just with hand strength. So you want to make sure those don't come loose. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is wire the neutral wire on the switch. It's just going to go over the top of the load that you just wired. We're going to do the similar sort of thing. You're going to need a little longer piece of wire, but use the white wire, of course. Always want to keep your wire colors straight. Strip off the end. Put your spade connector on the same way you've been doing it before. Crimp it down with your pliers. And then put that into the switch. So you see how this is arranged. It's sort of inside to inside, outside to outside. The neutral is at the bottom of the input part of the switch, input module, and then goes to the top part of the switch. So that's how it should look when you're done. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is use some of the nuts and machine screws in your box and mount the input module onto the side of the box. Use the shortest screw that you can get by with, of course, so you don't have things that'll scratch your fingers as you're putting this all together. You'll also notice that I've wired some green ground wire with one of the spade connectors, and that goes on the very bottom of the switch. But this is how it should look when it's coming out. You'll also notice that we now have two wires going from the switch, and they correspond one to one with the same color wire across from them. So the one at the bottom of the output is the black wire, which is the load, and the one at the top is the neutral wire, which is the neutral. And those are all going out to the next one of your first terminal blocks in the box.